All right, let's talk about Form GSTR-9C. If that name alone has ever made you feel a little bit lost, well, you've definitely come to the right place. In this explainer, we are going to completely demystify the entire filing process step by step using the official offline utility. So let's dive right in. Look, it's a totally normal reaction. This form, it involves a bunch of steps, you've got to coordinate with your auditor, and there's some technical jargon that can feel pretty intimidating. But don't you worry. By the end of this, we'll have a super clear roadmap to get this thing done and get it done right. So what exactly is a Form GSTR-9C anyway? The best way to think of it is as the final verification step. After you filed your GSTR-9 annual return, this form is where an auditor comes in to formally compare your audited financial statements with your GSTR-9 data. It's really all about making sure everything lines up. And a super important thing to remember, you can only file this after your GSTR-9 is submitted. We've set this up kind of like a relay race. First, we'll cover the taxpayer's opening moves. Then we pass the baton to the auditor for the heavy lifting. The taxpayer takes it back for the upload and review, and then we all cross the finish line together with the final filing. A nice, clear path from start to finish. All right, first up, the taxpayer's role. You're the one who kicks this whole process off. Your first job is to get all the key documents together from the GST portal so you can hand them off to your auditor. It really just boils down to these 4 simple steps. First, obviously, you log into the portal. From there, you're going to download your already filed GSTR-9 form. Next, you download the GSTR-9C tables. And the great thing is, these are already pre-filled with a lot of data from your GSTR-9. And finally, you just package those 2 files up and shoot them over to your auditor. And with that, your first leg of the race is done. Okay, now the baton is officially passed to the auditor. They take the files you send and they start the really detailed work of reconciliation. Now, it's super important to note that this whole part of the process happens offline, away from the GST portal, using a very specific tool. And you know what the best part is? No fancy, expensive software is needed for this. The auditor just uses the official GSTR-9C offline utility, which is basically just a really powerful Excel sheet. And get this, anyone can download it for free right from the GST portal. You don't even have to log in. This slide, this is really the heart of the auditor's work. You can see it's a major balancing act. They are meticulously comparing your audited financial statements, your P&L and all that, against the data from your GSTR-9. Their job is to find any differences, write down the reasons why, and even flag if it looks like you might have to pay additional tax. So here's how the auditor puts it all together. They punch all the reconciliation data into that Excel tool. Then they can generate a PDF just to preview it and make sure it all looks good. Then, and this is the crucial part, they generate a secure JSON file. They digitally sign this file, and then they send that signed file back to you, the taxpayer. This file is the key that's going to unlock the next phase. Now, I know words like JSON and DSC can sound a little techy, but the idea is actually super simple. The JSON file, just think of it like a secure digital box that has all the reconciliation data packed inside in a language that only the GST portal can understand. And the digital signature, or DSC, that's the auditor's unbreakable, tamper-proof seal on that box. It's what proves it's authentic. And this brings us to a really, really critical rule. Once you get that signed file back, do not tamper with it. I mean it. Don't open it. Don't try to edit it. The GST system is designed to detect any changes. And if it does, it'll invalidate that signature and you'll get an upload error. If you find a mistake, the only solution is to go back to the auditor and ask for a new re-signed file. Okay, the signed JSON file is in your inbox. The baton is back in your hands. Your job now is to get that file uploaded to the portal and deal with any potential issues that might pop up. And this part is actually really straightforward. You just log back into the GST portal, you go to the GSTR-9C filing page, pick the Prepare Offline option, and you upload the JSON file that your auditor sent you. Simple as that. This is the question we get all the time. You upload the file and wham! Instead of a success message, you get an error. It can be super frustrating, I know, but the good news is there's a very clear process for fixing it. The solution is this nice, structured loop. First, you download the error report from the portal. You send that error file back to your auditor. They can actually open that file in their Excel tool, and it will highlight the exact errors. Once they fix the issues, they generate a new, re-signed JSON file, send it back to you, and you try uploading it again. It's a clear, repeatable process, not a dead end.
And hey, to help you out, here are a couple of the most common technical hiccups. If the auditor sees a compile error, it almost always means they're using an older version of Excel. They need Excel 2010 or newer. If you get an auditor's sign as invalid error, it could be something as simple as their digital signature certificate being expired, or even just some weird browser settings.
We are in the home stretch now. Your JSON file is uploaded successfully, the system is happy, there are no errors. You are now ready to cross that finish line and complete your filing.
Now, getting a successful JSON upload is a huge milestone. But hold on, you're not quite done. Before you can actually file, the portal also needs you to upload copies of the audited financial statements that this whole reconciliation is based on.
Specifically, you're going to need your balance sheet and your profit and loss account. They have to be in PDF format. And keep the file sizes in mind. You can upload up to 2 files for each one, but each file has to be 5 MB or less. It's a really good idea to have these ready to go beforehand.
And now, for the final clicks. Once your JSON and your PDFs are uploaded, you'll hit Proceed to File. This brings up a preview of the entire GSTR-9C form. Please take your time and review this carefully. Once you're happy with it, you just check the little verification box and click that Final File GSTR-9C button.
And here is precisely why that preview step is so important. The government is crystal clear on this. Once filed, Form GSTR-9C cannot be revised. You can make all the changes you want right up until you file, but once that button is clicked, it is final. So please take that extra minute to review the draft. And you're done. Congratulations, you did it. To be absolutely sure everything went through okay, you can just pop over to the View e-filed returns section on the portal. There you'll see the status, and you can download a copy of your filed GSTR-9C for your own records. And you know, it's pretty interesting to realize that this entire very detailed process, from the offline tool to all the checks on the portal, it's all designed and managed by the Goods and Services Tax Network, or GSTN. It's their system to make sure everything is accurate and compliant. So that's it. That's the entire relay race of filing GSTR-9C, from start to finish. We've seen that the process is clear, the tools are free, and all the steps are totally manageable. The only real question left is for you. Now that you know the path, are your records reconciled and ready for that handoff?